So I thought it'd be fun to end a career
Yeah.
back with students where
Yeah.
all the fun and exciting things happen. I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And in fact, I was kind of in a rough area where I grew up. Mile High Stadium
Okay.
was right in my school
Sure.
attendance office.
Yep.
My plan was to actually become a judge, is what I wanted to
Okay.
eventually do. By switching and becoming an educator, it was the right thing for me and my family. There's just so many opportunities out there, and there could be multiple different paths that could be right. There were about 1,000 of us in our graduating class,
Yeah.
but there were just around 350 of us that graduated. We can really do a lot of good if we really focus in on students, very centered on individual students. And I know there's still tons of growth that can happen,
Sure.
but schools have really gotten better that way.
Yeah.
I was amazed at the quality of education kids received here when I first started
Sure.
compared to where I came from. So, Alpine School District, and even when I first started, was just so far ahead of where Denver public schools were at
Sure.
that time. But a lot of it has to do with the families in
Sure.
Utah.
Sure.
The families value education. They value the extracurricular opportunities. They can, as families, they can see how that benefits their children. So they're supportive of it and encouraging. So we're able to do more with less because of the good family support.
It seems like there is a lot more focus on really, helping them get ready for college if they're going to college and giving them a college credit, so that those last couple of years of high school aren't wasted.
But we also recognize that some kids want to jump into a career right away.
Sure.
And there's great opportunities there through the career technical education. And, we partner with Mountain Lands Technology Center.
Yeah.
And so kids have the opportunity to get some great training and some skills right in high school and are prepared to work. I've just gotten through 2 years of college
Yeah.
without paying tuition.
Yeah.
That is an amazing
Oh, yeah.
opportunity. Seniors sometimes at the end are kind of just
Yeah.
just barely hanging on and taking classes that aren't real meaningful to them.
Let's educate you for a job. Let's educate you to, contribute to society in a meaningful way.
The world is changing at such fast rates anymore. It's almost even hard to know how to structure yourself as an educational system because things are changing so quick. I think schools will need to do a better job helping kids learn how to learn.
Love that.
And identify good sources of information versus bad information. And then think in deeper levels. Instead of memorizing, they need to communicate more. Political policymakers are understanding more and more that it's not about memorized facts.
Yeah.
It's about doing those deeper skills that will help them succeed in life.
Yes.
Teachers can't really be just the source of information anymore because
Yeah.
there's such an explosion of information out there.
I think that's way better than just memorization.
Through very good research that like the ACT is a great test to tell what socioeconomic background you come from,
Oh, okay.
but not really
If you're
a
learning.
predictor of how you'll do
Okay.
at the college level.
Okay.
Ryan, are they good collaborators?
Yeah,
Are they
okay.
good communicators? Are they critical thinkers and
Okay.
creative thinkers? Those are the ones who will be successful. But it's hard to do that on a bubble test.
No.
Boy, you want a person who understands how to resolve conflicts
Yes.
and work through challenges as negotiations are
Yeah.
going on and
Oh,
this
yeah.
kind of thing. When we have sporting events at state or whatever, it's amazing the crowd Lehigh brings compared to most schools.
Wow. Being a principal, I'm guessing, isn't always easy.
It really is about learning how to solve problems and help people solve problems. Conflict resolution seems to be what I
Yeah.
do the most of as a principal. We call them the 5 C's, and what we want teachers to do is to implement those type of things within their class.
Students obviously have changed a lot from the 80s to now, right?
Yeah.
The technology has changed, a lot of things have changed and stuff like that.
Getting the information just constant. And it's hard for kids. Well, it's hard for adults.
But yeah, if it's constantly, if I'm looking at this and not at you, the teacher, well, that's not going to be good, right? And then I'm not learning, I'm not actually present.
Trying to get our focus onto whatever's on the phone, whether they're trying to sell something to us or get us to believe a certain way or our friends want to connect with us. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
But I can always try and do the right things and do it the right way. That's a person. It's not an object.
Yeah.
It is a person with needs, wants, desires, and hopes.
Sure.
And I need to value that. Too often we get in situations, at least I do, and I see it among the kids where, we try and talk each other into doing something that really isn't in our best interest.
What advice would you give to the next principal that's coming in?
What you want as an educational leader is a person who will really reach out and inspire others to do their best. You'll get so much more done with a team of people versus one individual.
100%. Even if that person is super awesome, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just the law of numbers.
And so I would say if I were to start over again, I would probably say find people who do certain things really well and learn from them more often.
Okay.
Because sometimes you get so busy.
So you're retiring, but you're not dead. So
That's right.
tell me what's the future hold for Tim? I mean, sure, I have to provide for my family, but I also want to provide meaningful service to the world.
There are some amazing kids
Yeah.
coming up through the system, and it's just remarkable to see the increased skill, the increased knowledge, the increased abilities that kids have. It's just amazing how competent and skilled and smart kids are.